not trying to hurt you. I'm just worried about you. This is for your own good. I only want what's best for you. If you really loved me, you would." These words have destroyed more lives than any physical weapon ever could. Because while a knife leaves visible wounds, these words leave invisible scars that bleed for decades. You're under attack right now, and you don't even know it. There are psychological weapons being used against you right now that are so subtle, so perfectly disguised, that even therapists miss them. These weapons were documented by Carl Jung, but buried because they revealed too much about how people really manipulate each other. Tonight, I'm exposing all 7. Some of these weapons, you've thanked people for them. One of them made you stay, and one is still being used against you right now. By the end of this video, you'll have a radar for every manipulative tactic used against you, and you'll never be ambushed again. You'll recognize these weapons in real time. You'll see them coming before they hit. But warning, once you know these secrets, you'll hear them everywhere. The world will sound different. Conversations will reveal hidden agendas. You'll see the strings others are pulling. Ready? Take a breath. Think of the last person who made you feel crazy for having normal human needs. Got them in mind? They're using at least 3 of these weapons on you right now. Tonight, I'm revealing 7 silent weapons that manipulators use to control your mind. Not the obvious ones, the surgical strikes that bypass your defenses because they're fired by people who claim to care. We're going deeper than anyone's gone before, because knowing these weapons doesn't just protect you. It frees you from a prison you didn't know you were in. Weapon number 1, gaslighting grenades. Let me tell you about Sarah. She knew her boyfriend took $200 from her wallet. She saw him do it. But by the end of their conversation, she was apologizing for being paranoid and not trusting him enough. That's a gaslighting grenade. And the last time someone used this on you, you probably ended up apologizing to them. Here's how the weapon works. Step 1. They do something wrong. Step 2. You confront them. Step 3. They deny, deflect, and distort. Step 4. You end up questioning your sanity. Did you catch that? You end up being the problem. Every single time. The phrases that launch gaslighting grenades. That never happened. You're being too sensitive. You're imagining things. You're crazy if you think that. Everyone agrees you're overreacting. Carl Jung discovered this pattern, but warned against sharing it publicly. He said, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves." But gaslighters weaponize this truth. They make your irritation the problem, not their behavior. Here's what Jung only told his inner circle. Gaslighting works because it hijacks your self-doubt. We all question ourselves sometimes. Gaslighters turn that healthy questioning into a mental prison. But now that you can see it, here's what happens next time. When someone denies your reality, you'll recognize the grenade in midair. You'll think gaslighting, and your mind will stay clear. Their weapon just became useless. Weapon number 2, love bombs. This weapon is so dangerous because it feels so good. Jung called this emotional inflation. but only shared the antidote with his closest students. Phase 1. Overwhelming affection. Constant texts saying you're perfect. Expensive gifts too early. I've never felt this way. Future promises in week 1. Phase 2. You're addicted. Phase 3. They withdraw. Phase 4. You'll do anything to get the high back. I know this sounds like a horror movie, because it kinda is. But you didn't choose the script. Now you're rewriting it. A love bomber doesn't love you. They love your reaction to their performance. You're not a person. You're an audience. And once you're addicted to the show, they own you. Real scenario. Mark meets Jennifer. Week 1, 50 texts a day, flowers, soulmate talk. Week 8, he's distant. She's desperate. Week 12, she's doing things she swore she'd never do just to get back that first high. Jung knew this secret. The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. Love bombers create a chemical addiction on purpose. They're drug dealers, and affection is their product. But now that you can see it, next time someone comes on too strong, too fast, you'll think, love bomb, and step back. Their intensity will feel like warning bells, not wedding bells. If this already sounds too familiar, pause and subscribe. You're not alone. This community is filled with people waking up to these weapons just like you. Weapon number 3. Guilt-guided missiles. This weapon turns your conscience into a torture device. And weapon number 3 is why you feel exhausted after certain conversations, the ones where you started with a legitimate need and ended apologizing for existing. After all I've done for you, I sacrificed everything for this family. I guess my feelings don't matter. A good daughter, son, friend would. Stop. Whose voice did you just hear? That's your primary guilt sniper. Keep them in mind. Jung only taught this to therapists who could handle it. Shame is a soul-eating emotion. Guilt manipulators feed your soul to shame, bite by bite, until you're empty enough to fill with their agenda. Real guilt missile in action. You, I can't come to Christmas. I need boundaries. Them, oh, I'll just spend it alone then. I only gave birth to you, raised you, gave up my dreams. But your boundaries are more important than your dying mother's last wishes. See? Your healthy boundary became evidence of your cruelty. You're the villain for having needs. But now that you can see it, when guilt missiles launch, you'll recognize them in flight. You'll think, guilt weapon, and feel the manipulation instead of the guilt. Their ammunition just became duds. Did you catch that? Each weapon has a counter. Awareness is your armor. 3 weapons revealed, 4 more to expose. But before we go deeper, check in with yourself. How many of these have been used on you this week? If you're feeling that mix of anger and relief, good. That means you're waking up. And the most dangerous weapon? It's one you've probably thanked them for. Let's expose it. Weapon number 4. The emotional switchblade. This weapon is brutal in its simplicity. Jung discovered this pattern in his most disturbed patients. But what he didn't publicize? He found it in normal relationships everywhere. The pattern? Monday, you're the best thing in my life. Tuesday, cold silence. Wednesday, rage over nothing. Thursday, acts like nothing happened. Friday, love bombs again. Can you feel your nervous system remembering? That constant vigilance? That walking on eggshells? You're not crazy. You are being trained. Jung's secret insight. Everything unconscious is projected. The switchblade wielder projects their chaos onto you. But here's what he only told select students. The unpredictability is intentional. They're training you like a lab rat. Intermittent reinforcement creates the strongest addiction. Real example. Tom never knows which wife he's coming home to. Loving Lisa or cold Lisa? He spends all day strategizing how to get loving Lisa. He's not living. He's performing for peace. If this sounds like emotional weather forecasting, congrats. You've been promoted from partner to unpaid psychic. But now that you can see it, when someone's mood swings wildly, you'll think emotional switchblade and stop trying to fix it. Their chaos stays theirs. Your peace stays yours. Weapon number 5, the comparison crossbow. This weapon kills your self-worth by constantly measuring you against others, real or imagined. Jung called this shadow comparison, but kept the antidote secret because it was too powerful. Their ammunition. My ex would never. Sarah's husband does this. Normal people don't act like you. You're lucky I tolerate this. Let's pause here. You've already survived more than you realized. Let's go deeper. Here's Jung's forbidden insight. They're not comparing you to real people. They're comparing you to their shadow projection, an impossible standard that doesn't exist. It's rigged, so you always lose. Watch this weapon work. Why can't you be more like your sister? Other wives are happy to cook. My ex never complained. Each comparison makes you feel deficient, makes you work harder for approval that never comes. Because the moment you meet one standard, they'll invent another. But now that you can see it, when comparisons start flying, you'll think comparison crossbow and realize you're not competing with anyone real. The game is rigged. Stop playing. Weapon number 6, silent treatment torture. This weapon turns absence into violence. Jung studied this in his work on psychological torture, findings so disturbing he kept them from public knowledge. The stages. You do something they dislike, often unknown. Then, complete withdrawal of all affection. Then, you try to figure out what you did. Then, you apologize for things you didn't do. Then, they return when you're sufficiently broken. Then, you're grateful for scraps. Drop in the comments which weapon hit you hardest. Let's normalize recognizing these attacks. Jung's suppressed finding. Being ignored activates the same brain regions as physical pain. They're literally hurting you without touching you. It's psychological violence disguised as silence. Real scenario. Maria disagrees about a movie. Her boyfriend doesn't speak for 3 days, won't text, acts like she doesn't exist. By day 3, she's apologizing, promising never to have opinions again. She's been trained. But now that you can see it, when someone goes silent to punish you, you'll think silent treatment torture and recognize it as abuse, not communication. Their silence becomes their problem, not your emergency. Weapon number 7, reality revision rockets. This is the nuclear weapon. Reality revisionists don't just lie, they rewrite history and predetermine your future. Jung called this the most dangerous form of projection, but only discussed it in private letters. Here's how it works. They change what happened, assign meanings you never intended, predict your future failures, create narratives where they're always the hero-victim. You've always been selfish. You never supported me. You're going to leave just like everyone. I knew you'd do this. Take a breath. If you're recognizing someone in every weapon, you're not paranoid. You're awake. Jung's secret observation. Reality revisionists often believe their revisions. They've told the lie so many times, it becomes their truth, and they'll fight to make it yours. Here's an example. David remembers his wife agreeing to the motorcycle. 6 months later, she tells everyone he bought it against her wishes, that he always ignores her. She believes her revision completely. But now that you can see it, when someone rewrites history, you'll think reality revision and trust your memory. Their fiction doesn't become your fact. If you've felt more seen in the last 10 minutes than you have in the last 10 years, pause and subscribe. You're not broken. You were being broken down. But now, you're getting up, and you're not doing it alone. Why these weapons work on you. Here's the truth. These weapons only work on good people. Think about it. Gaslighting only works if you question yourself. Guilt only works if you have conscience. Love bombing only works if you can love. Your vulnerability isn't weakness. It's proof of your humanity. But humanity doesn't require you to be a target. Jung knew but rarely shared. Your brain has 2 exploitable features. Trust bias. You believe people mean what they say. Coherence need. You need things to make sense. Manipulators hack both. They say caring words while doing harm. Your brain breaks trying to reconcile it, so it accepts their version. The recognition protocol. Here's your new radar system. When you feel crazy, confused, or guilty after a conversation, run this checklist. Gaslighting. Is my reality being questioned? Love bombing. Does affection feel like performance? Guilt missiles. Do my needs equal their pain? Emotional switchblade. Is their mood my responsibility? Comparison crossbow. Am I never good enough? Silent treatment. Is my existence being punished? Reality revision. Is history being rewritten? Screenshot this list. Keep it in your phone. Awareness is your armor. And tell me in the comments, which one hit you hardest? Just drop the weapon name. Let's map the most common attacks together. The universal defense. Jung gave us the master key in his private journals. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. These weapons work in the shadows, in confusion, in emotional fog. But consciousness is kryptonite to manipulation. When someone fires a weapon, pause and ask, what emotion are they trying to create? What behavior are they trying to trigger? What would happen if I didn't react? This pause, this moment of consciousness, is your shield activating. The pattern break. Here's what manipulators fear most: predictability. Once you know their weapons, you can predict their attacks. When you set a boundary, expect this sequence. Guilt missiles first. Gaslighting if guilt fails. Silent treatment next. Reality revision to make you the villain. Love bombing to reel you back. It's a program, a pattern. And now you see the code. Your first assignment. This week, just notice. Don't confront. Don't react. Observe. When someone uses a weapon, internally name it. That's gaslighting. Love bomb detected. Guilt missile incoming. Notice how naming it changes how it feels. Notice how seeing it reduces its impact. You came here as a target. You're leaving as a warrior. Not because I gave you weapons, because I showed you theirs. Jung's greatest insight, hidden in his black books. I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become. Tonight, you're choosing to become conscious, defended, unmanipulatable. The 7 silent weapons have been exposed. Their power came from your innocence. But innocence and ignorance aren't the same thing. You can be good without being gullible, kind without being a target, loving without being a victim. In the next video, we go from defense to offense. I'll show you exactly how to become psychologically untouchable, immune to every weapon while keeping your heart open. Because you weren't born to dodge attacks your whole life. You were born to be sovereign. The manipulator's advantage is over. Your awareness is their kryptonite. Your consciousness is their nightmare. And your sovereignty? That's their deepest fear coming true. Welcome to the other side of the game. Ready to become unmanipulatable? Subscribe and hit the bell. The hunter is about to become the hunted.